Hello there, everyone. My name is Abimbola Shakiro Majolagbe. I'm here to make a presentation on Participatory Guarantee System on behalf of the Association of Organic Agriculture Practitioners of Nigeria, NOAN, who is the umbrella body for all organic practices in Nigeria. This presentation is prepared by the Standards and Certification Committee of the Association. I'm going to be giving you the breakdown of the scopes and procedure of the process. It's going to be coming in two parts. The first part, I'm going to run the overview of the PGS system, and the second part is going to delve into the technical nitty-gritty of the working process of the PGS system. It is no longer news to say that people are actually clamoring for organic practices, and organic agriculture has come to stay. People want to stay healthy and they want to live a good life. Organic agriculture is a system of production that sustains the health of the soil, the plants, the ecosystem, and the people, and is being guided by 4 principles. These 4 principles are the major roots where organic agriculture grows. We have the principles of health. Organic agriculture should be able to sustain the health of the soil, the plants, and everything that goes with it, with the planet and the environment. The principles of ecology. The organic agriculture, should be able to sustain all the ecological process. These include the living organisms. We have the flora, we have the fauna, we have the microorganisms coming to play, and a way that we can work and sustain them. In the principles of fairness, organic agriculture, should be based on relationships that ensure fairness with all these living organisms, with the environment, and getting better opportunities for them. The principles of care. Organic agriculture should be managed in a precautionary manner that will be able to protect both the well-being of the current and the future generation. When we talk about organic agriculture, we are not only limited to food. Food is the primary source, but we have other things that comes, the byproducts. We have our drugs, we have the apparels, we have our cosmetics. But what we are rest assured that once the production of the primary source is sustained through the organic principles, the quality assurance, the consumer can be rest assured that whatever that the products that are coming from this primary source is something that it goes through the right process. So the conformity of the organic standard is very key to the PGS certification. The IFRAM actually based the PGS system as the farmers based. The farmers own the PGS. All the stakeholders coming together must ensure that they guide the working principles, they follow the due process of certification. And by doing this, the local content, allows them to have more premium and the business opportunities open for the farmers in the group. It's a local certification, and so all the state chapters we are clamoring for is the fact that when the farmers come together in the group, they're able to hold them tight and follow the due process. And once they're doing this, it is assured that their products, will have more credence in the market. The PGS has all these key elements put together. We have the shared vision, participation, trust building is a learning process. It's transparency and horizontality. When we talk about the shared vision, what we mean is that, different kinds of people are coming together. The stakeholders, we have the producers, we have the consumer, the retailers, the traders, and all such. When they come together, they must come to share a common vision. This is a bond that holds the group together. They can't afford to be in disarray. So this is the first key step in ensuring a successful PGS system. Once they come together and they hold themselves, they are able to relate with one another, share ideas, and then they will get stronger. Participation, we know that different stakeholders come together in this group. We have, different kinds of skills, they build in their strengths, work more on their weaknesses, and have a formidable front in participating in their system and coordinating themselves well. The trust and fairness is also very key to the PGS element, when we know that what we are going to give to the public must conform with the organic practice, with the quality assurance. Everybody in the group must hold themselves in trust and integrity. We have to be fair with one another. Farmers will come together and align, and they will know that what they are doing in their own space is conforming with the guidelines of the organic process. This makes the PGS certification seamless. Then there must be transparency and horizontality. Farmers working in the group must have that opportunity to relate with the public. Whenever they are being called upon, they are able to at least, have that access to their documents. So there's no need for them to hide anything. They must be open and just. In horizontality, it means that all the members in the group are all equal. Nobody has more sacred than the other. Everybody is working towards achieving the same goal. So across board, they are equal. That is what I mean by horizontality. And in all, it is a learning process. Learning process for coming together to share their views, their skills, their ideas. Now, in this learning process, the key word of this PGS is peer review. The groups are coming together to form a peer review. What do I mean by that? A farmer A will go and peer review with maybe farmer B or with farmer C. While farmer C will not peer review farmer C, will peer review farmer A. It goes hand in hand like that. So if a farmer A is going to peer review with farmer B cannot peer review with farmer A. So farmer B will either then go to farmer D or E. So they cross-examine themselves, they cross-examine their work, and they do farm visits, and they learn on their joint trainings. And so it is a continuous process. They do research from other groups. What is it that they are not doing right? And they conform with our guiding principles that binds them together. So these key elements are very important within the groups. And as they go on, they're able to formidify themselves and learn more in the process. That is the end of the section 1. Talking about the key elements is very important for the group. So this section 2 is actually talking about the working documents. It's more technical. It shows how the groups are able to come together and perfect their working process in the system. And so these are the documents that we actually want the local content of the PGS to have handy. Importantly, the PGS of every state chapter holds their bond with their different state chapters because it's a local content. So they are binded with the state chapters. Anything that has to do with documentation are being perfected with their state chapters. It's the state chapter that will now collate all necessary documentation to the national body. So we have the terms of reference, the NOAN standard, the application letter, we have the farmer's data, which is the history sheet, and the farmer's pledge. There's also the restoration contact from the state chapter, the appraisal sheet, the meeting records, the consequences for the non-compliance. We have the verification groups of the compliance, and finally, the seals and the label. In the terms of reference, this is where the farmer will be able to understand what he or she is going into. Every project has a terms of reference. It guides the working principles. And in this, like I said, it is farmer-based. People must be able to get into the group willingly because it is voluntary. Nobody is going to force any farmer to join a group by virtue of the fact that maybe somebody has joined it. This guides them appropriately. And the terms of reference, be able to tell them that nobody is coming to superimpose from any other executive body on them. They come together and align with the terms of reference. So they're able to go through this before they get on board. We have the NOAN standard. It's a regulatory body for the local farmers coming into the PGS group. This contains the working procedure that guides their process, their production process on the farm. Maybe the crop farmer or the livestock farmer. There are a lot of other farmers, in other enterprise, the agriculture, the snail farming, the bee culture. Everything is embedded inside the NOAN standard. So it guides the farmer in the group as it goes. And then we have the bylaws. These can be formatted by the group themselves. What will be able to help them to guide them in their production process, but not going against the production process of the standard itself. And they can have a checklist. We have the state chapter. These are the additional services from the state chapter that, can be formatted for the group. And then the group can also have their own goals and objectives, their targets. Where are they now? Where do they want to see themselves in the nearest future? So these guides their working documents. The application letter really is where the technical work starts. This is where the traceability work starts. The farmer coming to the group is not just one-off. He has to be able to fill this form. And the farmer is now given a code within the group. And the code is now registered with the state chapter. The state chapter will also have the code. And then the state chapter will proceed to the national body to, inform them about the group that have to be formed. And so the national body will have a code for that particular PGS group in that state. This makes traceability very, very easy. So if you have any issue with any group of farmer within the group, and it is, easy for us to trace that particular group with that code that is registered to the state and the national body. We have the farmer's data and history sheet. These are the demographic information that the group will need from the farmer. It gives more, opportunity to be able to align with what the farmer is doing, so that in the database, it is also, recorded to know the practices of the farmer, both the crop farmer or the livestock farmer. So the data history sheet is very, very key in the PGS documentation process. The farmer's pledge is very, very important. Like I said, farmer will come into the PGS not by force, but willingly. They must, be voluntary, in their mind to say they are coming to be part of the process. And in this, how do we now know? You must have a pledge to say whatever that you are doing must conform with the organic practices. A farmer will not use synthetic products. He will not use growth hormones, growth regulators, and all these are actually itemized from 1 to 13. And then the farmer will sign the pledge. Once the farmer has done this, that means you are committed to the whole process of trust and integrity. And so the registration contract to the states is, a template that has, a relationship between the group and the state chapter. All these, in terms of the business procedure, how are you able to, align with your state chapter? Because the state chapter has the opportunity to work in tandem with the group. It all depends on how they're able to perfect their, their production process. So it is left with the states to decide what will be able to, be, conforming with the guiding principles, what will be able to align with them, what suits them. So this is very key, so that when this goes on, they're able to have a working relationship, a business relationship, and as it goes, it differs from state to state. The appraisal sheet is called a checklist. It allows the farmer to be guided so that it can be off guard to the normal proceedings of the PGS system. So this template allows the farmer to ask questions. You observe, you do your status, you assess yourself. How well have I gone in this appraisal sheet? And then by the time you start working, start giving yourself the appraisal markings, we're able to know how far you have gone. Have you been able to go, between, have you been able to at least improve yourself, or you are not still there? So this appraisal sheet is a checklist to guide all the farmers in the group in anything that they're doing. So there'll be meeting, within the group and within groups. So the meeting record is very important to guide them in, when they do the meetings. Is it once in a month? Is it fortnight? So they are recording this, as it goes. And when they go for trainings, what kind of training? Who has come to give them training? What sort of training? So this also gives them okay, where are they now? What do they need to also add up? Like I said, they will need to also, cross-examine themselves with other groups of PGS in maybe other states or within states to actually know what are the things that they also need to equip themselves in knowledge. So this meeting records and training records is very key as a document for them to, keep in the system. There is consequences for, wrong compliance. This compliance is also a template. You could add to it, but it guides them to know that once you err, on a particular, process, you definitely will be sanctioned. So it now depends on the kind of, non-compliance. You could have a verbal warning as a sanction. You could have a short suspension. You could also have a long-term suspension. And so it is important that when a farmer in a group is doing something that is wrong, anybody that has actually seen this should actually call the attention of the executive, so that it means that that farmer is the one that will face the music, not all the group. This is very important and key for the working process of the PGS. So the working mechanism to verify the group compliance for the group members is to cross-verify themselves through an informal and frequent social interaction. This allows for members to verify procedures for each member in the group to cross-examine other members. For example, if Farmer A goes to Farmer B then goes to Farmer C goes to Farmer D, and so on. This process does not allow direct exchange of members. That is, if Farmer A visits Farmer B cannot return the visit back to Farmer A. These documents are then filled properly and shared as evidences with the NOAN PGS coordinators as at when due. And so finally, this is the final destination of the working process. And this allows you to have the seal and the label for that group. So we have 3 label and seal that a farmer or in the group that will be given. We have the green label, the blue, and the brown. The green label seal allows for farmers that have gone through full conformity of all the organic process in their farm. So they have gone through the normal process. They are key, and they're actually standing above bounds to say they are ready, and so they are given the green seal. Those ones that will be given the blue seal label are those ones that have actually they are in between. They have not fully complied, but at least they have gone far way beyond the fact that they are confirming with the regular proceeding, the quality assurance of their process on the farm. While the people that will be given the brown label are the farmers that have actually moved away from the conventional practice, but at least they are still grappling their feet. Or so they are trying, but they are not yet there. So all these label and seal will be published on the NOAN website for credibility, because people want to testify that is it true that this person is has fully complied with the organic standard. So it will be posted on the NOAN website for more information. So the NOAN website is www.noannigeria.net. We have our official mail, which is admin.standandsart@noan.net. We use this opportunity to call on farmers to be part of this process. This allows you to have more, premium on your work, and so that you are able to stand out to say what you're doing is conforming with the health practices that the consumer is waiting for you. Thank you so much for listening and watching.